Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. And today is Thursday. So Johnny's joining us and he's going to help us understand a little bit more about this argument, inflationary versus deflationary. So we'll be right back right after this message. Hey, Johnny, welcome back to the show and happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a good time with your family.
Yeah, it was nice Thanksgiving. Thanks for having me back on today.
Absolutely. Good to see you. We've got
last week. I just say this talking to you guys. This show's like above all other the show. It's like therapy for me. Let me get my thoughts out. Like-minded people. Let me let it all loose this every Thursday. So
yeah, I bet it was hard for people. Well, some people. I guess it depends on how your family is. I know my friend Eric Norris posted that his mom said no crypto talk and no politics, at Thanksgiving this year. And I thought, well, you should have come to our house. Nana would have loved it.
Where I was at, somebody mentioned the word Bitcoin to me, and someone else jumped in and was like, "I don't want to hear about it." This and I just, no problem. I just said, if you don't want to learn about, this is all around you, this and that. And the big thing is I was talking about the Metaverse. People don't, and a lot of things I explain to people, I want to know about it so I can profit off it and stay ahead of the curve. So I necessarily don't have to be involved with it. I don't want to live in the Metaverse.
No.
I want to live with real people. But if you know what? If I can make money in the Metaverse and then live my normal life more in peace, who's better than me? So that's how I'm looking at it. Not that I'm going to be this nerd walking around this headset. Johnny's still doing the same thing, lifting weights. I'm outside, smoking,
breathing
cannabis. I'm lifting my real weights. I'm talking to my real friends. I'm hitting my real golf balls.
That's right, doing all those things. I will let everybody know I got an email today, and Edward Snowden is going to be on Theta TV tomorrow, and there's tickets for it on Evite. So I'm not sure how you search for it. I was sent an email invite to it. But I think that's huge news. And they're asking about how you're involved in cryptocurrency, what your proficiency level is. They want to know stuff about you as well. So, and I think it's going to be, I was really excited to see that streaming on Theta TV.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's Theta TV. Talk a little bit more about that. I think that's a pretty good. Is that kind of?
Let me see if I can find the.
I know about it, but I don't
the event.
know about it. If that makes sense, like I don't use it.
About Theta and Theta TV.
Well, I know about Theta. I just don't know
much
about Theta TV. As far as like, I know what it is. I just don't use it, so I don't.
I don't use it. I've tried streaming on it one time, and I couldn't get a stream key. We're so early in the game still.
Right.
But I guess they are. I need to work with. I know Carlos Estrada is able to, and his mom were able to get things moving pretty successfully on that. So
nice.
I probably need to work with them on a little bit of that. But let me screen share for everybody so they can at least see what the email that I got and have the same information. But this was what was sent to me, and it's through this Blockdown D-Data, December 3rd, 5 a.m. Pacific time. Wait, what does that mean? That's later my time. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so that's like 7 a.m. my time. To 1.
Is it probably wherever he's at? It's
yeah, so it's Pacific, 5 a.m. Pacific. I don't know where he is.
I did a conference one time where I worked on the Litecoin Island and I think the people that hosted it or that sponsored it were out of Germany. So it started at like 3 a.m. my time. So I was like, and I'm always up late. And I'm
Yeah,
not.
me too.
I go to sleep. Do I not go to sleep? I think I did sleep for an hour or two and set my alarm and just got up and
Then just power through it.
yeah.
I've done things like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so this is I thought this was really, really cool. They're going to be streaming this. It's the Block Down conference, but they're streaming it on Theta TV, and the tickets are free. But they do have you register, and then in the registration, they ask a little bit about yourself. They ask for your LinkedIn profile, and they ask for some information, what country you're in, and what your cryptocurrency proficiency is. Yeah, so kind of cool.
We'll definitely check that out tomorrow, guys. If you're up early.
Yeah, and I guess just go to Evite, because like I said, it's on Evite. The event is registered on there.
And it's not that Snowden's not speaking necessarily at 5 a.m. Pacific time. It runs from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific.
To 1 p.m. Yeah. But I would hate to miss that. That's
my guess is you're not going to be able to see a replay on YouTube.
No.
They don't want you to see that.
Probably not. Probably not. Definitely not. That'll be interesting though. So I posted a little, let's see, I'll have to stop screen on that. I posted a little infographic because when I went to Bitcoin Day, they had this whole conversation, and I always thought, well, they're inflating the dollar. As they're printing these dollars, we're in this time of inflation. And then someone else was arguing with me about, no, we're in this deflationary. And I thought, well, that means, to me, that meant devaluing, or the prices were going. I was talking about the prices of items going up. And I think they were talking about the value of the dollar. And I may be.
Okay. All right, let's see what this.
Check this out and see if this is in line with what you were thinking.
Inflation, high debt, low interest rates, easy credit, high asset prices. Okay. Deflation is low debt, bankruptcies, bank failures, credit freeze, low asset prices. I mean, in a nutshell, that pretty much sums it up. So here's what people have to be cognizant of with this. They both play off of each other. Now, the Fed fears deflation more than inflation. We've always been in a deflationary environment. Real wages are going down. It just is a deflationary environment generally that's been out there. Now, how the system's built, they have to keep the system running, to keep pumping money in, right? So it's like a real tightrope that they walk on. And they've always had a lot more wiggle room in both directions. So if we go back to the early 80s, we'll remember that there was a lot of inflation in the 1970s. And in order to stem that inflation off, it was Paul Volcker. He raised the interest rate to about 20%. And that stemmed off the inflation, right? They couldn't bring the interest rate to 4% right now. The system would fail. So there's not a lot of wiggle room now to move the interest. Reason being, Lisa, the United States couldn't service the interest payments on the debt if the interest rate went up that high. So it wouldn't even be feasibly possible. It has to stay low for that factor alone. Now,
so that's kind of what's happening in the gold and silver market as well. Like they're having to keep the price down because they can't afford to pay the loans that they've given themselves on it.
Gold and silver, I mean, I have a different theory on why gold and silver is down in price. I mean, silver is definitely manipulated because it's, it's needed, it's used, it's going to be used a lot in all the future technology. But there's money that would have went into gold and silver in the last year or two that went into cryptos instead,
Right.
or even the stock market or wherever, just because it just didn't flow into gold and silver. We're in a different era now. We're in a digital age. So
Well, and Michael Saylor had a great, epic, another epic description or interview with, I can't remember who he was talking to. And he mentioned the gold silver thing. And he said, but when the price of gold goes up, they mine more of it, which then brings the price back down, where you can't do that with Bitcoin.
You can't do that with Bitcoin. You can do that with gold.
They won't be able to bring the price of Bitcoin back down.
If the price of gold doubled, there'd be incentive to try to mine more. And then people would do whatever they could to mine. Hey, run the machines overtime. Let's develop a machine that mines at a higher rate. Whatever they do. I'm not a gold miner, but yeah.
Right.
So, definitely a lot of money though went into cryptos. It would have went into gold and silver. But so back to this inflation deflationary thing, right? So 2018, we saw something similar happen. Not something similar. I'm going to explain what happened in 2018. 2018, the stock market started crashing. And right before Christmas, the Dow crashed down to like below $22,000. And what happened was, why it was crashing during 2018 and dropping was because they were doing quantitative tightening and they were raising the interest rates. Okay. So they were drawing liquidity instead of pumping liquidity in, which is quantitative easing. They're buying bonds. They're flooding money into the system. Now they're drawing that liquidity out of the system. The system couldn't. Now this is 2018, right? So the system couldn't handle it. They couldn't get to where their initial plan of where they wanted to go and how much quantitative tightening they wanted to do and how much they wanted to raise the interest rates. They couldn't get there. They had to reverse course because around Christmas times of that year, the markets were crashing. Stock market was dropping big time. They had to reverse course. And they started, the interest rates started going back down, right? So we're in a situation right now where I think we could see what's called a deflationary spike event. Okay. Now, mark my words. Now, there's a lot of people that give misinformation out there. Harry Dent is one of them. Now, he's fun to listen to, but he gives a lot of misinformation. If you look back at most of his stuff, he's always keeps calling for a market crash. Market keeps going higher, right? He keeps calling for stuff that's not happening. The crashes he's was calling for are not happening. Reason being, you won't see a crash that happens for long at all. That's why I said it's a deflationary spike event. Look at March 2020. The markets rebounded quick. They dropped like a stone and they started shooting back up, right? Same thing with crypto markets. Crypto markets dropped like a stone and they started heating back up. So right now, just
that's wrong.
Just the talk, Lisa, of them raising the interest rates and doing this quantitative tightening is putting stress on the markets. We saw a 1,000-point drop Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see a lot more volatility in the markets. Now, they already came out and said they are going to start this tightening process. This could be really negative in the short term for crypto and the stock market. This could be a lot of pressure on these assets. What's going to happen is this will lead to the hyperinflation faster, because as the markets start falling, they start falling faster and faster. The stock market has those circuit breakers built in. That just shows you it's not a free market. It starts falling. If it falls a certain level, they close the markets down. That happened March of 2020. They kept having to shut down the markets and reopen them.
Oh, okay.
Just to stop people from so much selling, right? Ward off all that. The Fed will have to intervene. So what's going to happen is people still see the dollar out there as strong. To the rest of the world, the dollar is the strong.
Yeah, the rest of the world does not see that. I mean, you're seeing the third richest man in Mexico saying, that the U.S. is being irresponsible, like a young irresponsible
right,
kid.
But they see it as far as the fiat currencies go. Even if you listen to Michael Saylor, the dollar is the best of the fiat currencies. Now, Michael Saylor and these people realize all fiat currencies are going into the tubes.
Mm-hmm.
But the dollar is the best of the bunch. Right? So what's going to happen is that when this deflationary spike event happens, it's going to be when the Fed has to intervene and announce that they're going to have to do quantitative easing again or keep the interest rates low. Let's see how high they can raise the interest rates. My guess is they can only raise it 1 or 2 times, if that, and the markets are going to fall big time, right? And they're going to reverse course, and they're going to start flooding the system with even more. They're flooding the system with money right now.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Right now, they're giving businesses an insane amount of money through the SBA program. All businesses that got loans last year could now log into their portal and get 4 times the amount they got in 2020. 4 times the amount. I've talked to businesses that are getting.
I didn't know about that.
And they're all buying equipment, goods for their business. So what's happening is that's driving up the price of this stuff. What happens when businesses have to pay more for equipment, products, and services? They pass that through to the consumer.
Right.
So we're in a really weird environment because we're actually heading into the hyperinflation right now. So it's really like when people say deflation, there's the deflation. Again, I said deflationary spike event. Look at this, like a hurricane that comes through, right? This will happen.
Which ushers us into hyperinflation.
This will lead us in. This will be like the catapult for the hyperinflation, because when they announce this next time that they have to reverse course, the whole world realizes it's over. They are out of their bag of tricks. They are done. They haven't. Right now, they still have a lot of people believing that they still have tools left in their belt, right? When this happens, it's going to be known to everybody they're done. It's over. And all they can do is flood the system with this money. There's no raising the interest rate. There's no drawing any type of liquidity out of the system. It's just quantitative easing and low interest rates and flood the system with money.
Is this triggered by a black swan event? Is this just a matter of time?
This could be triggered by a black swan event.
Okay.
Sure. The 100% of black swan event could bring this on. Who knows what out there, what kind of event could bring this on. But it doesn't have to be a black swan event. Just them talking about raising, not even doing it, just them talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
is pressure enough, and the system starts freaking out. Once they start doing it, then you see the real effect from it.
I had no idea how much emotions affected the market until I got into crypto, and then watching that fear greed index, and watching how that drives, it really does reflect with what's going on in the market and all that. So that makes a lot of sense to me that you're saying that even just them having a conversation, we're watching these hearings that have been going on with Powell and Yellen. And as that is, leaked out or put into the public, if people will watch it, then, that can really affect things too. So, and then, the other information that comes out as well.
We don't. I'm going to give you guys a timeline. I usually don't like to give timelines, but I will on this. I don't. So I think if they, on their end, play it perfect, the markets won't crash until the end of next year.
Really? That long?
I don't think they can get that far. I think this will occur way before then. But if they can play it perfect and really do this carefully, maybe they can get till around this time next year. And then it's going to be over city, and they're going to have to reverse course. And then by 2023, by summer of 2023, the United States as we know it is going to be in hyperinflation. And hyperinflation is different than what we've seen. So, and I'm basing it off the money that these businesses are getting is insane. They're all they gave out tons of money last year. Now they're giving them all 4 times what they got last year.
Well, and I know with this supply chain issue, some businesses are actually kind of leveraging that to their benefit. I know there's some car businesses that, there's some that have said they've made more this year than ever before because of the supposed shortage. They're like, nope, that's what we've got, and we're going to charge a $10,000 premium on it.
They don't have to be competitive now.
Right.
Yeah, they can actually get the margin they want to get.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's really interesting to see how that's going to affect things and how that all plays out. So what about the whole, the government running out of money on the 15th?
That'll get just like it always does. They'll come to some type of agreement, and the debt ceiling will get raised, and maybe they use it to cause some chaos on us for a little bit. I don't know, but that'll work itself out. That doesn't. I mean, as much as we think, it won't work itself out, it always has. Every time this has happened, people said, this is the time it won't. It does. So I think
I've got to tell you, my little pup passed away the other day, and so couldn't sleep. So I started watching things on Netflix, the documentaries, and then I go down rabbit holes, and I watched Quincy, and I'm like sitting there with my little conspiracy mind, and I'm like, this stuff has been going on so long. These fights and this, manipulation and control, and like it makes you weary.
Really, Nana said when moon, Johnny. So here's what I anticipate.
Well, we've got a new moon this weekend.
I expect a big December, and I'm almost sure of it because, and it's the thing that we can't even talk about it. But in other words, if the crypto and asset prices pump up a lot, they can get a lot of tax revenue from that. So the incentive will be that the prices pump up so they can get more revenue from it. Okay, just looking at it objectively, that would be their incentive. So they're going to have the TV and all those stations cheerleading whatever they can. Then I think we start hitting this deflationary pressure in 2022. But behind the scenes, we have a big deflationary pressure because of the quantitative tightening and the interest rate game they're going to try to do, right? And now you're going to have tons of houses coming on the market. Zillow just put tons of houses on the market.
Yeah.
Now the housing prices are going to be dropping, right? But there's all these businesses with more money, so you're still going to be seeing pressure on the prices of goods, right? So just because we have a deflationary spike event doesn't mean the price of goods are going to drop. It's just that asset prices per se will drop on the tradable markets.
Okay. So the assets go down, but the prices of consumable goods.
This is where we go into the
Okay.
physical and the paper prices separate, right? So you may see where the prices of sugar, wheat, lumber, go or whatever is crashing, right? But then you can't, when you go to buy it on the open market, more expensive than it's ever been because there's shortages and businesses got flooded with all this money, right? So I think because of the money they're flooding in now, I think they're flooding all this money in to try to ward off the deflation for a little bit longer, right? So what I think is going to happen is you'll see crypto. Personally, I think crypto is going to have a bad year in 2022. Look at this as an opportunity. Play this. Remember, one Bitcoin is always one Bitcoin.
Right.
One Litecoin is always one Litecoin. If you can remember that and remember that only, you will come out of this a massive winner. That's why I never like to talk US dollar price of the assets. I'm kind of with Big Swear's camp. They could put the prices at zero if they want. They put the price of oil at negative $50 last year. They could put the price of any asset. It's all computer traded, right? So, I would say that always remember that. And into 2023, when this hyperinflation hits, you're going to see moon like you've never seen before. And that's when we see, and now remember too, we have a Litecoin halving in 2023. So a Litecoin halving in 2023. We have the Bitcoin halving coming up the year after that. We're going to be going into a hyperinflationary environment. This is going to be complete rocket fuel for cryptos. And we're going to be in a situation where so many more people now have wallets ready to buy cryptos. And maybe there are people that maybe if the market's bad in 2022, they're a little bummed out, but they're ready to buy in 2023. And there's that much more ways to get, you know what I mean? So I think that,
well, not only their own wallets, but all these banks are offering to hold, which, we don't necessarily condone or advocate for, but that's just a reality, is that those are bridges and on-ramps, and those are dollars that is money value that it's going out of the US dollar and into crypto. So that's happening with the individuals and with the banks, with the banks holding for people too. So,
yeah, I mean, people, like I said, people like the bank. We don't, but people do. So it's, all the bank's going to do is give you an easy way to do this stuff, make their vig off it, make their fees on it. Hell, if the banks and stuff make more money from this, well, I don't think Visa, MasterCard stand a lot more to gain. Remember, the banks are in bed with that Federal Reserve System. So the banks, I think, only like this to some degree. Where Visa, MasterCard, they're just the payment network. They don't care.
This is where you said they could cut the banks out.
Sure.
By using crypto.
They could have crypto networks integrate directly, like all different types of things they could do. And Visa, MasterCard are a licensing company and a payment network. So if they can license the technology to a different currency or different type of currency, make a bigger vig on their end, who's better than them? And see, if I was Visa or MasterCard, I'd be doing anything I could to push crypto forward, because I say, well, the banks have this huge VIG they take, our VIG's little. Let's make it better for the customer, but we make more VIG in the meantime, right?
Right.
I
Right. It
always
would still benefit the customer.
in business, and I always say this: if I'm selling to you and you can save money, but I could make more money, it's a win. I'm a capitalist. I go out and help people for free with Litecoin, and people trust me. I am 100% a capitalist. I'm about make your freaking money, right?
Yeah.
Like make it. But I'm really clear on make your money not at the expense of other people. Make your money so it's a win-win. If you're making money and you're adding value to somebody else, it's a win-win. You know what I mean? So that's the theory. But guys, just be really careful navigating this. Don't get distracted by people talking deflation. Now, I wouldn't be holding dollars. I'm not telling you this to hold dollars. If you were to hold anything, I would hold some stable coins if you think the market is going to fall in 2022, or you think this deflation spike event could occur. I would hold some stable coins. That way they're blockchain based. They're in your own possession. And I would put these to work in DeFi. So you're making some type of interest, some type of money, right? And this way you're not, I never, no matter what situation or environment we're in, I never advocate for having dollars in your bank account or fiat in your bank as the way to navigate through this. That's not the way to navigate through this. I wouldn't even get rid of any Bitcoin or Litecoin. So if people are out there saying, well, I'm going to sell my Bitcoin, and then I wouldn't be doing that, because all I could say is when this when they have to reverse course and all this craziness and madness happens, you might not be able to get in to buy. You don't know what's going to be going on in the banking system. This deflationary spike event, Lisa, if you look at the infographic you put up, one of the main things on there was a credit freeze. Mm-hmm. How will you be able to do an ACH out of your bank account to buy the cryptos? You won't. So,
well, and we're already seeing this in a lot of other countries. I mean, the Turkish lira just failed. Lebanon seized assets of their people and closed the banks. Venezuela had all their trouble. We're seeing it in Cuba, shut down payment systems. So it's happening all over the world. Don't think that the U.S. is, above any of those troubles. Yeah. And I think that's what Americans, we've been so, protected from a lot of this. We haven't seen this.
We're the world reserve currency. Of course, we haven't seen it. I wouldn't advocate for, so again, I'm not even a stable coin guy. For me, Bitcoin is my stable coin.
Right. I was going to say, especially with the SEC still, going after Ripple and Tether and all that stuff going on. I mean, I would just be nervous having money in a stable coin. None of this is financial advice, all those disclaimers.
Yeah. The stable coin's better than the bank account, because at least the stable coin's a lot more liquid. And if there's a credit freeze, you could move the stable coin around. But I would just be trying to use your cryptos to pair versus each other to accumulate more cryptos. So I always talk about this Bitcoin to Litecoin ratio. Let me explain to everybody again how you can use this to your advantage. Let's rewind back to summer of 2019. The Bitcoin to Litecoin ratio hit where one Bitcoin equaled 54 Litecoins. Okay. If you would have taken 200 Litecoins at that point in time, you would have gotten close to 4 Bitcoins. Okay. Let's say you would have got 3.8 Bitcoins. Okay. Now, fast forward to now. The ratio up until pretty recently was over 300 to 1. Okay. So let's say you timed it at 300 to 1, which was at for a few months, right? So now, what I mean 300 to 1, where one Bitcoin equals 300 Litecoins, okay? So if you would have taken your Bitcoins back, and now if you would have taken 3.5 Bitcoins at a 300 to 1 ratio and swap back into Litecoin, you'd have over 1,000 Litecoins, okay? Now, if you sat and waited on it and timed it, wait for Litecoin to go into wait for the cycle to play out, wait for it to make its move, wait for it to go into the next halving when it gets strong, right? Now, say it doesn't get as strong as it did last time. Say Bitcoin's so strong that it only gets to 100 to 1 this next time, right? Okay, no problem, fine. Gets to 100 to 1.
You're still what, 3 times your money.
You got 10 Bitcoins now for now you're sitting on 10 Bitcoins, right? And now say you wait on it again and you say, you know what? I really like Litecoin better than Bitcoin. I don't want to be sitting on the Bitcoin. I'd rather take the Litecoin. Let me make this move one more time. You wait it out again because this plays itself out again and again. If you watch this cycle, you play it out again. You swap back when it does that, when it goes back to 300 to 1. And now all of a sudden, you got 3,000 Litecoins. You started with 200 and you didn't put in $1 of fiat extra from the original 200 Litecoins. Wild. And that's how you do it. That's how you build real estate in the crypto world. And notice I never said go into fiat or into dollars. I just said swap Bitcoin and Litecoin back and forth. Because the way I look at it, you're always going to be safe if you're doing that, right? Now, why I say you're going to be safe. Say Bitcoin keeps running and the cycle doesn't play itself out exactly like it always has. Like I even used that in the example. I said, say it only goes to 100 to 1, right? Or say it doesn't even go that and only goes to 200 to 1. Or say it stays the same, right? Whatever. If the dollar's hyperinflating, both assets are going to be going up in price. So you always got to remember the hyperinflation's coming. So you always got to be prepared for it. That's why I say being in dollars is like getting back into the Titanic when you're already in a lifeboat, thinking you're going to get on a better lifeboat. You may get on a better lifeboat, but chances are there's not going to be a lifeboat for you. And now you're going to go to get back on the lifeboat and you're not going to be able to find the lifeboat.
Right. Well, we know we've been watching. Cannon's got his, birthday money moved into his wallet and they're in Litecoin and he's been bummed because he's like, oh, it went back down. I said, yeah, but it's still more than, I said, I can give you the $137 you gave me or you can keep what you have in Litecoin. He's like, no, never mind. I'll keep my Litecoin because it's still more than what the US dollars were. And I said, and they're getting ready to go print some more of those dollars. So that 137 is going to be it's going to be able to buy even less,
Brandon's not doing you any favors.
No, he's not. That's for sure. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, I know you have family in town, so I will let you go. But thanks for coming on and helping me understand a little bit more about that. So that deflationary spike could be what catapults us into this next hyperinflation. So once again, you guys, I also heard some crazy, insane thing about how much crypto is actually held on Coinbase. Get your stuff off there. We're getting close to the no keys, no coins day. Have your assets, have your wealth in your own possession. You are the best person to protect yourself with your wealth and your health and your personal safety. So take
contact us too. My DM's open on Twitter. Make sure you have the right Johnny Litecoin. But if you guys need help doing a transaction, even if you say, hey, I want to keep some crypto in Coinbase, but why don't you just try to send some of it out to a wallet. DM me, DM Lisa, DM Clint Westwood, DM different people in the community. Just say, hey, I feel weird. I've never done this before. Trust me, you're not alone. We're not going to laugh at you or say, oh,
no.
But if you're reaching out to us to ask us how to do a crypto transaction, you're so far ahead of the game. Be proud of it that, hey, you could drive around your neighborhood and say, I just reached out to somebody to do a blockchain-based transaction.
Right.
People aren't. So if you do need help, reach out to us, and you don't have to do it with all your crypto, but just experiment with part of it to send it out, at least take possession of some of it, because you don't want to be the person that thought, hey, I own Bitcoin. Wow, but I never thought to have any of it into my own possession. And the system went kaplooey, and now you just have a claim check on that Bitcoin and you can't actually access it.
Well, and that's why, one of our sponsors for the Happy Hour Roadshow is Monarch Wallet. And we talk to people about, download that Monarch Wallet, have your seed phrase written down in a safe place. Yep. You can use a Frog Wallet, which is our paper wallet partner. And you can get that stuff in your own possession in a safe place, off of the exchanges. So
yeah, the system could go down quick. One last thing, Lisa.
Yeah.
My timeline, I gave you guys the long timeline. So this could happen as fast as we could be in hyperinflation by summer of 2022. This could happen much faster than I said. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, thinking that they're
right.
They'll who knows what events they'll pull on us to manipulate us. I mean, I'm ready for anything from these maniacs. So
I'm with you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for all the kind wishes and thoughts and prayers. I appreciate everybody in our community, and we will see you guys tomorrow on Happy Hour. Take care.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from Calyx Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from Calyx Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calyxsolutions.io.